Hey everybody, Dwayne Oliver here, OliverKnives.com, coming to you from beautiful Loon Lake, Washington now. I just wanted to kind of do an intro, meet the maker kind of a video for you guys, give you a chance to get to know who I am before you want to deal with me. Hopefully you will. I would love to make you a custom knife. A little bit about me. I was born in 1969, right after Christmas. That always sucked. But I had a great childhood. Wonderful mom and dad. My mom's still alive. My dad passed away quite a few years ago. I grew up over Bloomfield, New Mexico. Went to high school there. Went to college there in Farmington, New Mexico. Went to work in the oil field. Kind of a life of hard knocks, you know. Worked hard all my life. I'm married to a beautiful woman named Dana. We've been married for 20 years, dang near. We between the two of us, we have 6 kids and 6 or 7 grandkids, and they are the light of my life. That's what I live for my family. Just last fall. You know, we decided that we'd had enough of New Mexico and the desert and the oil patch, and we decided we're gonna cash it in and move north, and we picked Loon Lake, Washington. The main reason we picked it was my wife's dad lives here, and her brother, and she's got some other family here, and it's beautiful. I mean, completely beautiful, and I walk around in awe every day, just looking at the surroundings, you know, thinking, geez, I really live here. I'm not on vacation. This is my life, you know. And I decided to just become a full-time knife maker. I think I can do that. My wife's gonna keep working a little bit if she has to, just to keep us eating, keep the lights turned on, keep me a little electricity so I can do what I love to do, and that's make handmade knives. I got started into handmade knives about, I don't know, 12 years ago. I went on a hunt and killed a big old fat cow elk, and I went through 2 or 3 knives there skinning that cow, and this guide, he said, "Here, use my knife," and man, I finished out that elk with that good knife, and I thought, look at that. I said, man, that's a nice knife, you know. He said, that's a handmade knife, you know, that's custom, one of a kind of a deal. And well, I thought, man, I'm gonna go home and buy me a custom knife, because hell, I made good money. And I saw what they cost, and I said, gee, you got to be kidding me. It can't be that hard to make. Got on the internet. You can learn to do anything on the internet if you got the want. I had the want, and I got on the internet, and I studied it, and I taught myself how to make knives. There were no knife makers in Bloomfield, New Mexico. You know, and I just learned how to do it. You grind them and you throw them away, and you grind them and throw them away, and until you get it right. And then you get it right, you know, learn how to heat treat and finish and do it all right, and then make it look good. You know, that a knife's got to look good. And my thoughts on custom knives: if you're gonna put all that work into a custom knife, why would you put it in a generic leather sheath? You know, make a beautiful sheath for it, so you know, to display it. You know, beautiful knives deserve beautiful sheaths, and even if it's not an ultra pretty knife like Damascus or something, even if it's just a real nice carbon steel knife, it still deserves a nice sheath. You'd be at hunting camp, somebody just see a regular old plain sheath on your hip, they might not even ask what kind of knife's in it. If they see a nice, pretty, well-made sheath, they say, man, that pretty sheath, that must have a pretty nice knife in it. Hey, let's see that knife. They're looking at the knife. That's what I want, is I want people looking at the knives. I want them to hold them. I want to handle them and see how they feel in your hand. You feel like you really have a hold of something good, you know, and it's well balanced. And then if they ever use one, then they'll be hooked. You know, custom knife, a handmade knife, they just stay sharp so many times longer than any factory knife out there. There are some good factory made knives. You know, Benchmade makes great knives. Kershaw makes a decent knife. There are a few factory knives out there that are still pretty good. But for the most part, you know, if you want a really good knife, you want to get a handmade knife, and they are expensive. But they're expensive because they're a lot of damn work. There's a lot of time goes into them. You know, the parts aren't expensive. You know, I buy steel in a bar stock. You know, a billet of Damascus. You know, like that, comes in a long piece. And handle materials, you just get whatever you want. You know, it's not, most of it's not that expensive. You get into, you know, ivory or something like that, mammoth ivory, and some of that stuff's pretty high dollar, but most of it, you know, is not that expensive. It's not the parts. It's not the parts that are expensive. It's my time. You know, my time is expensive, and I gotta eat, and I gotta make. Now I really gotta eat. I gotta make a living at this, you know, and you know, I figure the guy that's got to take, he's got to take taxes and insurance, and you know, and eat, and cover his electricity to keep the lights on, and you know, parts break down, the grinder dies or something. You gotta make enough money to cover that, and so it's tough. But my goal is to make affordable handmade knives, and I think that's possible. You know, I want to make affordable folding knives, so I think I can do that. You know, I started making these little folders. They're just a little guy, but they're nice. You know, a nice little knife, liner lock. Like I said, just a little knife. They're not very big, but they're made out of great stainless steel and titanium liners, S35 VN blades. I get a little bit of it water jet cut, so it saves me some time, because like I said, time is the most expensive thing. And they're rock solid, man. They lock up hard. Phosphorus bronze washers, good tolerances. With the titanium and the stainless, that stainless stays sharp so long, they'll make a great knife. And you know, for a handmade knife with G10 scales, folding knife, liner lock, at $250, I think that's affordable. And you know, make a bigger version. I have one laying right here, but it's $300, and it's just it's exactly the same. It's just bigger. You know, I think there's a market for that, a market for well-made handmade knives. And of course, if you want to start putting embellishments on them, you know, different handle materials, you know, it might cost a little bit more, because those things add time, and time is money. So that's what I'm out to do, is make affordable handmade knives. You know, anything I can do for you to make something very custom for you. I can put your name in it. You know, I'm doing some nice big hunting knives right here right now for a guy in Wyoming. Did some inlays right here in the handle of carbon steel, and I'll put he wants his son's name right there in that, so it'll have it when his son's packing it, you know, in the sheath. You'll be able to see that, and it'll have his name in it, and it'll be engraved in there. You know, if you got a leaf spring off of Grandpa's truck that ran off the cliff and Grandpa walked away, you know, I could make you a knife out of that leaf spring. You know, whatever you want. That's my forte, is custom, one-off knives. You say, I drew this picture, and I want you to make me this knife. You know, I'm gonna go through a few things, maybe a little bit of aesthetics on it, if it has any safety concerns. But pretty much, I'll make you that knife. That's what you want, I'll make it. You know, if you directly copy somebody else's knife laid on a piece of paper, I'm probably going to see it and say, no, this is so-and-so's knife, you know, because I've been around. I'm on the internet and look around, so, you know, if I see that, I'm gonna call you on it. I don't want to directly copy somebody else's work. You know, that's not cool. You know, we could change it a little bit. There's only so many ways you can make a knife. You know, it's sharp and it's pointed, but you know, something very distinct. You know, we don't want to be copying somebody else's work. So, well, that's about all I got. If I can ever do anything for you, I would sure appreciate the opportunity. Shoot me an email, Dwane@olivernKnives.com. It's DWANE @olivernKnives.com. That's my email address. Shoot me an email. I'd love to help you out. Thanks for coming by and looking around. Have a great day.